Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. What's on the news today? Have you heard about the bird? A spiritual successor is coming about the Wavebird from Nixie. I hope I don't mispronunciate it. Nixie Wizard. It is a spiritual successor to the GameCube Wavebird, and it claims to be drift free. That's the best part of this story. It is for the Switch. It looks just almost identical to the Nintendo Wavebird. It's purple Switch controller that just it looks awesome. It is a spiritual successor, if I could talk, to the 2002 peripheral that claims to have none of the stick drift issues the Joy-Cons have. And thank God for that. I have never rebought Joy-Cons because of those issues. So Nintendo can suck it. The Nixie Wizard combines the retro appearance of the long-run Nintendo GameCube controller with a more ergonomic design and works perfectly with the Nintendo Switch, according to Nixie. So the controller is on sale for $70, featuring replaceable joysticks, which is kind of nice, and adjustable turbo and mapping options. So that's a bit of a bonus there. I'm gonna have to ask Pat, is he in on this for the Switch? Pat?
I mean, what looks kind of cool about this controller is that it can be played docked or undocked from the Switch too. Like, I'm like, this looks interesting. And then, and offset sticks and all that stuff. It does look a little big. I don't know. I'd like to put it in my hands because, it's got the whole, it reminds me of, it is essentially the GameCube controller, it's just not in silver, platinum colors, or gray scale. So it's in purple. But, and then the whole new change to the D-pads going back to something, I think, I can't remember who used it, but somebody used it before the Switch did, before these guys did. But it's like a magnetic type of thing. It's supposed to eliminate drift and, and plastic and stuff wears. So it looks like they've made these thumbsticks replaceable. You just twist the top. And
Sega used to use that.
Sega, okay. Mm-hmm. Sega did. I couldn't remember who did. But yeah, it's got all kinds of buttons and stuff on there, and it looks pretty cool. I would not mind. I like my Pro controller, but so maybe if something happens to my Pro controller, this might be the next best thing. I really don't see, and at a $70 price tag for what you're getting, it looks pretty decent. I haven't held one, but you're not going to get one anytime soon. These things are so popular; they're already sold out everywhere. I went to go look for. So, and it's got customization, like you can change what buttons do. It's got vibration adjustments, everybody's dream of changing your vibration, right? You want it stronger, you want it weaker, So, it does look good. I'm definitely interested in, I'd like to see one and actually put one in my hand to see what it feels like. But what I really want to see is, now, I don't play with my Switch undocked. Everybody knows that, but I want to put the Switch in it and see how that feels. It's just, I don't know. It just seems interesting because, with the normal Switch, you're kind of locked into like a little bit of what I would consider too close grip, in my opinion, for me. And this seems to be bringing the grip out a little bit further and at an angle at that, more claw grip, like what we're used to. It's still claw grip on the Switch Joy-Cons that come with it, but it's more got the, instead of having the one button, you have the two buttons up here and stuff like that and things. So, and then it looks like there's just a centerpiece that if you don't want to play with it docked around the Switch, it just slides into this centerpiece to make it whole. Kind of like the whole Switch controller that comes with the Switch, right? You have that controller that's kind of offset and you could drop the-Cons in on the left and right. It kind of looks like that. It's just purple. It's unavailable, and it says it worked for both the regular Switch and the Switch OLED, which is pretty good. So you basically get a cool little throwback to the GameCube era in a new modern design. Not modern design, but modern features and functions, I should say. So I'm game to try it. What about you, Shane? Are you game to try this one?
Yeah, I want to see if I can find it and then wait for my next check to see if it's still there because I want this. I don't play my Switch as often as I'd like, and it's primarily because I get mad when I can't use the Joy Cons. So I got my Pro controller, but it's starting to. I think it's starting to go out on me because I've used it almost since day one because my Joy Cons were going to crap pretty quick with the drift. So, but yeah, I'm looking at it and I look at it and look at it and it it's just sweet. I mean, it's really cool looking. It's very familiar looking. I do want to know their size though. I agree with Pat. It's really hard to tell if that D pad is an indication compared to uh, the regular Xbox controller or something. That's a nice size, but I don't know. I can't really tell. I mean, just a big giant A button though. I freaking love that. Uh, there's turbo buttons on the very bottom of it, so it doesn't feel like it would be too hard to hit your turbos. Uh, being able to adjust it for everything. Yeah, I'm just happy to see it. I wish more third party developers would be decent priced for a good controller. So hopefully this one will be a good controller. But a lot of third party controllers have become pro light controllers. So they're really overpriced anymore, which has prevented me from getting like scuff and things like that. I would like to have one, but not at those prices. This for a Switch controller looks solid. The Pro controller for Nintendo is fantastic, but mine, like I said, mine's petering out. So do I want to buy a new Pro or do I want to check this bad boy out? To me, I like this because I can use it docked or undocked. I can't do that with my Pro controller. I mean, I could undock it and just, lean over on a coffee table, but that's not the same. Um, I'd like to see if they do it in other colors too. I mean, the Nintendo purple is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be kind of cool if you could get some other colors in it. Some orange or white or something like that. I want this. I do. I think it's awesome, and I just can't wait to get my hands on one if I can find it. So,
Yeah, you just
whose
talk
birthday
yourself
is
into it,
next?
huh?
Yeah, the more we kept talking about it, and the more I'm looking at it, it's like
Well,
I could really get into that.
and what you mentioned is a pretty good deal. It's a $70 controller, $69.99, I think is what they're charging for it. Or maybe it's just 69 flat, actually, I think, now that we're talking about it. I think it's 69 flat. That's the same cost as a Pro controller, Switch Pro controller, not on sale. Now, the Switch Pro controller does go on sale, and it brings it down to like $50 typically. But this thing, once this thing comes in stock regularly, maybe it will go down to $50 every now and then. They'll have a sale. So if you're in the market for a new controller and you can find one of these, it might be up your alley. I do find that the Pro controller is nice. It just feels flimsy to me. The Switch Pro controller feels flimsy. It feels light and like I'm going to break it. It's even though it's a Pro controller, it still feels light and like I'm going to break it. But I've never had problems with it. So if I ever did have problems with it, though, I may look at getting this controller because I did like the GameCube controller. It's fun. It looks fun. It looks cool. It looks retro to me, and I like the old look of it. And I do like my retro controllers. And I would definitely buy this if I needed a Switch controller just to try it out. What's the worst could happen? I have another controller that I just don't like. As much as I play the Switch, it's not going to hurt anything, right? I've had many of third parties in the day that I just really didn't like. Some third parties are good. But the vast majority of them out there I don't think are very good. And I prefer playing with the officially licensed ones. They just feel more sturdy and they seem to hold up longer, right? No matter what console they're for. Like if you buy a knockoff DualSense controller, they just don't seem to work as good as the PlayStation DualSense. And the same thing with the Xbox controllers. Now, there are some out there that are really good compared to what Microsoft puts out there. So, there's some that give them a run for their money. And maybe this is one of those controllers that gives the Nintendo Pro controller a run for its money.
One thing they didn't mention in the article, though, is battery life. How long does that thing stay charged? that's a big factor with a controller nowadays. We talked about the PlayStation 5 Pro controller. I can't remember what the special name was they gave that. But it had apparently a relatively short life charge time compared to the regular PlayStation controller. And we talked about how just plain batteries on the Xbox controller compared to the Elite 2 controller. I haven't plugged my Elite 2 in 3 days. So, granted, I only play like 3, 4, 5 hours a day, but it just sits there and it's still going strong. So, battery life is important. Charge time is important. So, I think that's something they got.
I think it's I think the Eurogamer did some testing with it and said that it would, with some turbo stuff set up and some of the light setup, it lasted like 6.5 hours. For Switch, that's pretty good. I don't think I play my Switch longer than that on average.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time. I think Mario Odyssey was probably the last time I sat on my Nintendo more than 6 hours straight. So, no, it's a really cool looking controller. Watching the little video, and everybody should check it out, how you replace the thumbsticks. It's very simple. It's a locking cap. You unlock, you pop your sticks out, you replace your sticks, boom, you're good to go. So I imagine they'll probably have other sticks you can put in there for taller ones, some with concave, some rounded ends, whatever, some fancy things. So it's pretty cool, and I bet you could probably just straight up 3D print one of those thumbsticks on there.
I don't know. You wouldn't want the jagged, but I think right now the whole thing around the rings is that they've got circular octagon rings. I guess more for that retro feel, because I think the GameCube had octagon. That it wasn't a circular smooth inside of that Wavebird controller. So, and it had the octagon. It didn't have the circular internal pattern. So when you're rotating the stick, it was smooth. This one's like the octagon pattern,
Yeah.
And you could swap it out between the octagon and the circular ring.
Yeah. No, it's pretty damn cool though. I was really shocked when we saw this article. I was like, that's nice. That's real nice. And we've really been talking about quite a bit on controllers lately, and this is a nice surprise because Nintendo's been really left out in the cold because everybody's doing Elites and all these really overpriced controllers. I mean, there was one I saw for Microsoft. It was like $300. I mean, apparently it'll get all the achievements for you. I don't know. But it's nice to see Nintendo having a little something in there too now. Yeah, I'm definitely going to find it and get it. And then I will update everybody when I finally do.
Are you talking about the controller that had like the OLED display in it or something like that? I think that was an Asus controller, wasn't it? The ROG?
Yeah, that's right. I was actually thinking of it, but I forgot about that one. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, they even got controllers now and I'm surprised, honestly, that Sony didn't do that with their new one, with the DualSense is, a touchscreen / have a little TV in there and it'll display crap. That's the whole next thing. I mean, you all seen those fake videos where the new Xbox controller is all digital and it's just thumbprints, and that's the way of the future now, apparently. But yeah, some of these controllers are getting pretty nasty, but the prices are the biggest problems. Scuf apparently has really quality controllers. I've never played one, but I see reviews for the new ones as they come out, and I would like one, but they're even more, some of them are more expensive than the series, the Elite 2. And I love my Elite 2. Absolutely love it. So,
right. I guess Nixie's been making like controllers for the Switch for a while. Like they've got like I think they've got like different controllers for the Switch that dock and stuff like that. So I never even heard of them until this. But they have like what looks like a Pro controller, and then they have another controller. So they've been doing it for a while. So it doesn't look like they're not new to this game. Looks like they do some RGB controllers and stuff. So hopefully, I've never played with one of their controllers, so it might be time. Like they have an Athena, which is like a $53 controller, a Hyperion, which is a $58 one. It's one of those, reminds me of the old Mad Cats that you can see through, see through.
I've got one of those.
Yep. And then they have a Chaos, which is a $42 RGB. Looks just like the Pro controller, except for looks better, in my opinion, than the standard Nintendo Pro controller. So it's pretty interesting. And then they've got Nixie even makes a dock for the thing, which is interesting. So they seem to make all kinds of crap for the Switch. And honestly, I do like I wish I would have found these guys earlier, because I do like the look of their Pro controllers. I might have bought one of their Pro controllers before buying the one I bought. So
yeah, I'll have to check their stuff out and see what kind of reviews they're getting on their controllers. Because yeah, I mean, I'm going off of an article and a photo for my decision right now, and I want it. So hopefully they make pretty quality stuff. So you got anything else you want to say? You want to go grab your Switch now and realize how much you hate the controller for it? All right. Well, thanks for getting to the end. Like, share, subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff, because it is free, and you can't beat free. Unless somebody pays you to do it, but we ain't got no money to do that. So let us know what you think. Have you seen this Nix controller? Have you used any of the other products? Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the Switch controller and their Joy-Con drift of death. Let us know what you think about this video. And until next time, we'll see you.